William from Junie Lyon Williams Adventures. And we're coming back today and talk about a little something else. So you've decided that you want to be an expat. You came to the Philippines for vacation and you made a decision that it's Philippines or bust. You're coming to the Philippines. So, should you liquidate everything right away? Or should you have a backup plan in case things don't work out? That's what we're going to talk about, guys. The expats questionnaire. We'll see you in a little while, and that's what we'll talk about, guys. See you next time. Hey guys, William from Junie Lyon and Williams Adventures. Let's talk a little while about the expats that are coming to the Philippines. Do you need a backup plan? We all know that you do. A first, second, and third one. So we're going to talk about that expats questionnaire. That's what we want to talk about. Expats questionnaire. That's what we need. Because a few of our subscribers have asked us, William, tell us some of the things that we're going to need. We came on vacation to the Philippines. We met our LDRs. We like what we saw of the Philippines for a brief time. Even 2-3 weeks, guys, is a short time, even a month. But we want to move to the Philippines and at this point become expats. Questions and answers, guys. Questionnaire. What do we need to do? Remember, guys, give us the thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. We appreciate those that are new subscribers. And we thank you for those that have joined our channel and became channel members, that you could talk to Junie Lee and me privately through email, through text. And we can give you information that can help you in your transition. But we're going to talk about that for a while, guys. That's what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about you coming to the Philippines. You've decided to be an expat. What are the things that you got to do? You need a backup plan, guys. As you saw on our thumbnail, you can't just jump out that plane and hit the ground running, guys. There's some things that you got to do. Should you liquidate everything that you have in the USA or in Canada? Should you liquidate, guys? Well, there's two rules of thought on that, guys. A lot of people would say that they would come over for the first year and they would rent their house out. They would have someone stay in that house or whatever the case may be for 6 months to a year. And they would be here in the Philippines. They would see how they're liking it. And that would be their transition plan. They wouldn't liquidate everything. They'd liquidate most things and some things, and they'd choose what they weren't going to liquidate until they put about a year in, boots on the ground, guys. That's one rule of thumb. Another is some guys are doing like the guy on the thumbnail. They're just getting rid of everything, forget scrap, what's a backup plan, and just diving off the plane, feet first, head first, and just running into everything, which I don't advise, guys. It's not a good plan. Number one, if you're going to sell your house or houses, maybe you're a person of means. You have a lot of cars, you have a lot of houses, you have things you need to liquidate. Well, guys, if you liquidate everything, you have to make sure you have enough money in the bank that if for some reason or the other, some unforeseen situation that you had to return and start your life back in the U.S. for whatever reason, do you have enough money to get going again? How much would it take you to reignite your life in the USA or in Canada or in Europe? Every smart man or woman has some sort of backup plan. Isn't that right, guys? So those are two rules of thumb that you might look at. If you're going to liquidate everything, then you need enough money to restart in the West if for some reason it didn't work out here in the Philippines, guys. So either rent your place out if you're going to liquidate, make sure you have a plan in place for either event. I've known some guys that have liquidated everything they had. They came to the Philippines and overspent their means. And I can tell you the stories of guys that didn't have enough money to go back and restart their life. And they had spent what they had here, whether it was blown through the wrong woman, living above their means, or whatever the case may be. They didn't have enough money to keep them going here, and they really didn't have enough to restart, and they had to depend on any family they had left, if any, to get restarted back in the West. So guys, don't jump out that plane without a parachute. This is what I'm saying. And to our one subscriber that have asked us, and I'm sure there's more, about bank accounts, transferring bank accounts, once they made the decision to jump all the way in and become an expat. Someone moves to another country from his home country for the foreseeable future. If I was you guys, I would not, and this is my opinion, I would not stop using my American bank account or credit union or numerous bank accounts like I have. I would continue to let my Social Security, pension, whatever the case may be, come into my American bank account. They have many transfer services, guys, that you can use to transfer your budget monthly to yourself. Keep your savings in a bank that you know that is safe, that's insured in the U.S. And transfer the money that you need, especially in that first year, guys. You do not want to come to the Philippines and start trying to open bank accounts here in your first few months. You need to see, number one, if you're going to be able to make it here. If you're in a relationship, you want to see how that relationship is turning out in the first 6 months to a year. So guys, these are things that I'm saying that would be, if there was an expat questionnaire, these are the things that we would have to understand. Do we have a plan, a fail-safe plan to move to the Philippines? Because guys, remember, moving to the Philippines is a whole different story than coming on vacation for a month, where everything seemed like it was just great. There were beaches, there were women, there was all sorts of things to do. But remember, when you live here, you're talking about setting up your life here in the Philippines. And the one thing you don't want to do is recreate any stressful environment that you were leaving. You don't want to set up that whole situation again. If the woman or the LDR that you're talking to has children, are you ready to assume a ready-made family again and set up that situation in your 60s or in your 70s again? These are things that you need to think about, guys. I'm quite sure that on the thumbnail, the guy that was Philippines or bust, Philippines, here I come, jumping out that plane, he didn't think about those things, guys. But after everything wears off and you've been here a few months, you'll start settling in, if you're living here, to everyday life, whether it's with a female or it's by yourself, guys. But I would suggest that you have a backup plan and then another backup plan. If for unforeseen reason, you or I had to return to the U.S., do we have enough money in the bank to restart our life for a while, even if we then intended to come back again to the Philippines? Or are you going to be of the camp that says, I'm going to liquidate everything, I'm going to not worry about any of that, I'm going to think in my mind that I'm going to make it in the Philippines, and that's that? Well, I hope that works out for you guys, but it's a poor general that doesn't leave a way to retreat. I'm a military guy, so I know there always has to be a way of retreat. Even though that's not your plan, you need the plan for it. So guys, if we had an expat questionnaire, what would that be? Make sure you have your Social Security checks, your pension, 401k, whatever it is. If you're retired, that you already have your checks going into your account before you get here. My advice is that you would keep your American bank accounts, guys, at least till you've been here 6 months to a year. I've been here over a year and a half, and 3 times before that for months at a time, and I still continue to keep my American bank accounts. In my case, I rented my house out. I don't know if that's the wisest decision. It is if you have good renters. But you have options, guys, and that's what we want to have, especially in the first year of coming to the Philippines as an expat, you want to have options. Make sure your passport has as much time on it as you can get on there, and that's 10 years. If you only have a year left or 2 years left, renew your passport, guys, before you come here. It's much easier to renew it in your planning process in the U.S. than to go through all that you have to do to renew it in Manila at the embassy. Once again, keep your American bank account. Make sure that your health insurance, your health in general, is good. All the things that you need to get tested. You need stress tests. All these things. Do those things. Make sure you're healthy enough to live in the Philippines before you come in the Philippines, guys. Remember this also. A few of our subscribers have asked us about Medicare. They're over 65 as I am. Well, Medicare doesn't work here, guys. It works in the continental United States and its territories. Guam is the closest one here. But if you were going to have a heart attack or stroke, you may not have time to get to Guam. And also remember that most people, they're still taking out that $174, $175 for the premium of Part B. And you have to cancel that. And if you cancel that, then you're not going to have Medicare again in the United States. If you plan to return there, there'll be a penalty. So look into that. Do your research, guys. But remember, here in the Philippines, if you're on a budget, even though you got savings and emergency fund, if you're planning on living off your Social Security and your pension, remember that $174, $175 they're taking out for a premium that, remember, you can't use over here. That's almost worth $200, 10,000 pesos Philippine. That would be coming out your budget for no purpose if you're not living in the United States. So those are things that you have to make arrangements for. Are you going to cancel your Part B? Are you planning on going back to the U.S.? Because there's steps you have to go through, guys, to cancel your Part B of Social Security. And a lot of guys, they need that extra 10,000 pesos a month in their budget, especially, guys, when they're paying for health insurance here in the Philippines that works here. And they're making a payment for that, whether it's yearly, whether it's monthly, whether it's quarterly. But also, they're paying the premium out of their Social Security check, no matter what you're getting. They're taking $175 out that you can't use that medical insurance, guys. So there are a lot of things to think about before you jump out that plane, hit the ground running, and then you have to think about these things while you're here. Everything gets harder to do once you're here in the Philippines, guys. That would be much easier to do in the planning stage while you're in the U.S. So these are some of the expat questionnaires that we wanted to let our subscribers know. These are the things that are very well accomplished in your planning stage. Don't just say Philippines or bust, and I'm going to liquidate everything. I'm not going to make my plans well enough and then come here. It's expensive to go back and forth to the USA, guys. It's a long way. It's not like you can turn around and go back tomorrow. The tickets are pretty high to go back to the U.S., especially if you go back trying to take care of Social Security, if your Social Security and that's what you're living off, if that stopped for some reason. Make sure of these things, guys, in your planning stage. This is what we want to tell you here at Junie Live and Williams Adventures, so that you'll have your best experience as an expat in the Philippines if you prepare. Remember, guys, it's not like it's a vacation and you're going home in 2 months or a month or 3 weeks. You're planning on living here. And it's different vacationing here in the Philippines than it is living here, guys. Because it's not things that you can fix that easily. But that can be fixed easily in the USA or in your home country. So that's what we wanted to talk about. Just want to touch bases on some of these things our subscribers have been asking us. Remember, guys, those of you that have already dealt with these issues, some of you guys that have been living in the Philippines for a long time, comment, guys. We want to hear that because your comments help our new subscribers that are watching and wanting to know, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to be successful in my transition? These are the things, it's the little things, guys, that you need to do. The Social Security, making sure your health is properly taken care of. Making sure that you have, if you're liquidating back there, you have enough money in your account to restart your life if for unforeseen reasons you had to go back. We'll talk a little more about this next time. I didn't want to make this video that long, but I wanted to answer some of our new subscribers' questions that are trying to transition. These are the things that you need to think about in advance. If you have any other questions, guys, feel free to comment. Join our channel, comment, and we'll be glad to answer you in the comments with the things that we think would be good tips for you, that you don't have to make the mistakes that others of us have made. It's easier to learn from someone else's mistakes than your own, guys. So this is William at Junie Lyon Williams Adventures. Remember, give us a thumbs up if this information has helped you, and subscribe to our channel. Buy us a cup of coffee, guys, if you would. Give us a super chat. We appreciate that, so we can keep putting out material that would help others that are transitioning. We'll see you later, guys. And Gerard, we appreciate that super chat the other day. One of our great channel members, Gerard. We'll see you next time, guys, at Junie Lyon Williams Adventures. Till then, remember, enjoy every day, because tomorrow's not promised. See you next time, guys.